Some people say it's the ceiling in a suspense movie. After watching this movie, you know what suspense is. What is inversion? The rest of those so-called suspense movies are pediatric. This is a movie that has been shot in all 3 countries of China, Japan, and South Korea. I didn't believe it at first. Seeing so many people giving such high ratings, I went to the movies again. After reading it, I can only use 3 words to describe it. It's really beautiful. Not much to say. We go into the positive film. Police found the body of a man by the sea. Dead naked, his clothes were burned. To hide the identity of the deceased, his face was smashed by the murderer. 10 fingerprints on both hands were also burned by the murderer. Due to its remote location, there were no witnesses. The murderer's methods are appalling. The police are not far from the crime scene. Discover a brand new bicycle. On the handlebars of the car, they extracted some fingerprints. At the same time, the owner of a small hotel reported the case. A guest named Fu Jian, who lives here, missing for 2 days. Not only did he not pay the rent, also took the key to the room. Police arrived at the scene. In the room where Fu Jian lives, some fingerprints and hair were extracted. After analyzing the fingerprints and DNA comparison, they discovered that at the crime scene, the fingerprints left on the bicycle are exactly the same. Police identified the deceased as Fu Jian. The time of death was also announced. Around December 2nd, between 6 p.m. and 12 p.m. The cause of death was strangled by a wire, suffocated. 2 police officers in charge of the case. One is called Inland Sea. One is called Tai. According to clues, the victim was last seen at his ex-wife's restaurant. I also asked my ex-wife's address. Then die by the sea. So far it seems ex-wife prohibition is highly suspected. Then when I checked the list of Shizuko, I found that Shizuko on the evening of December 2nd. I went to the cinema with my daughter first, then I went to eat ramen again. After eating ramen, I went to KTV to sing again. Everyone has a perfect alibi at night. The crime scene is a long way from the mirror's house. You can't be in 2 places at once. So in theory, he's not the murderer. But our test felt that the mirror's answer was too perfect. He vaguely felt that the mirror was the murderer. He will find clues. Tear off his false veil. The man's name is Stone God, living alone in a cheap rental house. He is in his 30s, average looking. I am a high school math teacher. People can't look good. Although the Stone God is not outstanding in appearance but a mathematical genius. He had 2 great passions in his life. A mountaineer, a math problem. Just good fortune. To take care of a critically ill mother, he eventually became a high school math teacher. Walked to work every day. He will cross a flyover. A group of homeless people live under the overpass. They live at the bottom of society. Like cogs in a machine. Repeat the same thing every day. Boring and boring. I can't see the end. Before I met the mirror mother and daughter, the god of cookery thinks he is no different from them. Shizuko is the neighbor of the god of cookery, opened a restaurant. Now, the god of cookery comes to Shizuko's restaurant every day when he goes to work. Bring a love bento. Shizuko's smiling face become the sweetest picture in his boring day. The daughter of the mirror is as warm as her mother. I greet her every time I see the god of cookery. The god of cookery sometimes feels absurd. If you can become a family with them, it should be very happy. Time soon created opportunities for the god of cookery. One night, god of cookery is grading students' homework at home. He heard fighting coming from next door. After a violent fight, calm was restored. That's right, a static home. There's a life and death drama going on right now. His ex-husband Wu Jian came to the door. Pu Jian is a complete rascal, edible and lazy. Domestic violence is also frequent. Get rid of him. Mother and daughter secretly moved house. I saw Fu Jian coming to the door. The mirror knows his purpose. The daughter is not related to Fu Jian by blood and order not to let Fu Jian harm him. The mirror gave Fu Jian 20,000. Tell him to leave quickly. Unexpectedly, my daughter just came home from school. Fu Jian is about to leave. Meet my daughter. Fu Jian's mouth began to utter foul language. He said his daughter is beautiful. In a few years when he grows up, take him to a nightclub and make a lot of money. Daughter can't take it anymore. Take a crystal ball out of the room, rush out and hit Fu Jian on the head. Fu Jian rage, fighting at my daughter. I saw my daughter being beaten. He grabbed a wire from the ground, strangle Fu Jian's neck. The daughter took the opportunity to hold down Fu Jian. Did a piece of tofu kung fu. The mother and daughter killed Fu Jian. What a coincidence. The doorbell rings. It's the god of food next door. The mirror was originally intended to prevaricate the past, but the god of cookery said he had heard it clearly he can exonerate the mother and daughter. The god of cookery enters the house to check the nearby corpses. The mirror said it would turn itself in. The god of cookery said that you can't get rid of it if you stab your daughter to death. You put a wire around his neck. It's impossible to hold his hands and feet anymore. Fu Jian's hands are indented. The police arrived. Will arrest the daughter with full identity. Do as I say, make sure you'll all be fine. A few days later, a body was found on the beach. So here's the inside story of the beginning of the movie. Come out of the mirror house. Inland Sea and artist meet the returned god of cookery. Inland Sea took out photos of Fu Jian. Asked the god of cookery if he has seen this person. The god of cookery said he has never seen it. Don't know either. Inland Sea also asked the god of cookery, did you notice the mirror next door on the night of December 2? Is there any abnormal behavior? The god of food told them, I'm a high school math teacher. Moved in next door for 2 years, always at peace. When the god of food opens the mailbox to get the email, I came across a letter from a university, that's where you graduated from. After the police left, god of cookery dialed Shizuko from a payphone. The god of food told Shizuko that they should have less contact during this time. He will contact Shizuko by public phone. After listening to the conversation between the mirror and the police, the god of food told him that the police would come again. Don't worry about everything, mechanical answer is fine. He had the mirror clip the movie ticket into the movie blurb. Don't take it out on your own initiative. Because no one keeps movie tickets. When the police ask, pretend to forget, let the police find out for themselves. Shizuko asked the god of cookery worriedly, will we be okay? God of cookery's affirmative answer, trust me, Yuri, gonna be okay. Sure enough, not long after, Yukikai and Tai come to Shizuko's house again. When they asked if they had movie tickets, Shizuko pretends to look everywhere. Inland Sea found the movie ticket in the movie introduction. Again, unsuccessful artist couldn't hide his inner frustration. They came to the university and found Yukawa, a professor of physics. Yukawa is a well-known physicist. He uses his expertise helped them solve countless major cases in the Inland Sea. After listening to Inland Sea, they told the case. Yukawa Yuki thought for a while. He said no, if it is the murderer. He asked you to find the movie tickets yourselves. This guy is really smart. UVE met your match. Yukawa says it has nothing to do with physics, it's up to the police to solve the case. Not interested. But artist told him. Next door to the mirror lives his classmate, the god of cookery. Yukawa Yuki is interested. He came back and told them, I rarely use genius to describe a person. If there is still genius in the world, god of cookery is definitely one of them. Inland Sea and Hathi were instantly stunned. A guy who looks stupid to be described like this by the arrogant Yukawa school. A genius in mathematics, a genius in physics. Two geniuses meet again like this. Just this time they are no longer classmates but a hunter, a life and death showdown with the hunter. After 17 years old classmate visiting. Both great immortals hate worldly etiquette. Then sit on the ground, show the true color of Daxian. In conversation, Yukawa learned about the current situation of the god of cookery. Mother was seriously ill. To take care of the mother, she gave up the promotion, choose a high school, be an ordinary math teacher. Tangchuan learning regrets for teachers and students. A recognized mathematical genius now, it's come to this. God of cookery says, research mathematics regardless of geography anywhere is fine. Tang Chuanxue brings a great gift to the god of cookery. That's an extremely complex math problem. God of cookery takes it treasure, he told Tang Chuanxue. It takes time to unravel. Tang Chuanxue said with a smile he has time to wait. In this way, the god of food feels that the rice is not fragrant, no more wine. Work on math problems. Looking at the god of cookery in ecstasy, Tang Chuanxue smiled, that's right, it's still the previous one, nothing has changed, they belong to the same kind. Time flies, the god of cookery remembered Tang Chuanxue, and Tang Chuanxue has fallen asleep. He opened the closet, ready to take out the quilt and cover Tang Chuanxue, then a wire fell out of the cabinet. That's a mirror, used to strangle useless, the god of cookery suddenly realized. Tang Chuanxue definitely not here to solve math problems by yourself. He's like a beast with a keen sense of smell. Vaguely smell the danger of the approaching hunter. It seems that the original plan with the emergence of Yukawa had to readjust. After dawn, the two went out work together. They crossed the overpass. I saw the homeless man under the flyover and said, they're missing in the city, repeat the same thing every day. Keep looping, set in stone. When the two broke up, the god of cookery's words made Tang Chuanxue suspicious. The god of cookery really envies you. So many years, always handsome. Nothing has changed. Looking at the back of the god of food leaving, Tang Chuanxue was confused for a while. God of cookery, in addition to mathematics, never care about anything else. How can I envy my appearance now? Only men in love pay attention to your appearance and dress. Is he in love? Yukawa and Yukikai came to the scene of the corpse run again. Doubtful. The murderer is thoughtful since it can destroy the face of the dead and 10 fingerprints of both hands. Why do you leave fingerprints on your bicycle? If you can't get fingerprints, the police have no idea who the deceased is. As if the fingerprints were left on purpose, too obvious. If the killer left fingerprints on purpose, what is his purpose? Yukawa, Kakuki and Yukikai check the missing point of the bicycle again. There are many bicycles here. Most of them are unlocked. Why did the murderer just pick a locked bike? This kind of result will attract the owner's attention, call the police. The murderer knew this but still want to do it. What is his true purpose? Homicide is foggy. God of cookery, what method should Tang Chuanxue use to solve the mysteries of the god of cookery? Mother and daughter, can you really escape the punishment of the law? All the answers will be revealed in the following section.